Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, the world is going downhill, and it's going downhill quick. Gold is at an all-time high, and we're going to talk about it. Gold has officially become the first asset in history to hit 30 trillion with a T in market cap. This is an all-out global rush into gold. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize what we have here? The US dollar is dying, and it's dying quick. This is what we have all been saying for years and years and years. The United States government is a fucking Ponzi scheme. It is a Ponzi scheme, and we all know it's a Ponzi scheme. Things are bad. Money is based on nothing, and we're going to talk about it. So gold's at all-time high here. Yesterday, I was looking at the gold market, and it was about $4,400 an ounce. $4,400 an ounce. Oh, my God. And if you think that's bad, how about we look at silver, which is almost $55 an ounce? Oh my God. I think it just came off a little bit today, but it's going to go back up. There's absolutely no reason to think that gold or silver is going to go down anytime soon with the instability that we have as a result of this administration here in the United States of America. And, you can also see some more demand here, investment demand on behalf of individuals for gold. I saw a wonderful little thing here. I'm going to actually put it down on screen. You can see a little video here actually happening in Vietnam where you can see people at a gold market, and they're just trying to get all the gold that they possibly can. Everybody's trying to get in on this, bull run here, and this is not good. Right? This means that people are leaving the dollar. They are leaving their bloody fiat currencies because they know that the fiat currencies are about to collapse. And when it gets this bad, when everybody's crowding around, everybody's trying to get out, they're trying to leave, that's the time that you should probably that's the time when you should probably think, maybe this is all about to crash. Maybe we can be the ones who are not going to get screwed over this time like in 2009. Or maybe we're not going to be the ones to get screwed over like a Great Depression. If you look at the charts right now, we are at such a fucking peak, and this could all come toppling down. But what I will say, and what I want to caution you all on, again, I'm no financial advisor here, but I do like to keep up here with the gold and silver market because I think it's extremely indicative of current affairs within government, as well as I'm a huge supporter of leaving the fiat system in general. And so Jeffrey Christian from CPM Group, which is, I believe it's like a subsidiary of Goldman Sachs, and they specialize in commodities trading, and gold and silver has been this dude's specialty since like the 1970s. And one of the things that he said is that there's no reason to think that gold or silver will collapse anytime soon because this administration is so bloody volatile. I mean, you have tariffs one day, no tariffs the next day, tariffs on Tuesday, no tariffs on Wednesday. And we can see even worse than that. We have people shorting the market, random whales shorting the market every 2 seconds with likely insider information, making this whole scenario even worse for us average Americans. We are essentially gambling while the elites are taking it all the way to the bank. And we have to sit back and do nothing about it. Nothing. We can buy a little bit and maybe protect our assets, and that's about all. And we rode gold and silver for quite a long time. And so one of the things I'm very curious about here is how high that peak is going to go. I think it's going to go a lot higher here because this administration is going to last for another 3 years. Now, how high is that? And will this plateau at some point? Probably. I'm sure it'll go down for a little bit when the government shutdown ends. Maybe we have Trump, stay off of Twitter for like a week. Maybe, gold and silver goes down a little bit. But until that day happens, and how likely is that day to happen anytime soon is the question, I think that we're going to be seeing a huge rise in gold and silver, and the dollar just going to keep tanking. I saw a great article the other day, a wonderful analysis. The U.S. dollar has lost more value this year than it has any year in the past, I can't even remember how many decades, but it's lost about 10% of its value in 1 year. That's fucking crazy. 10% value in 1 year, that's unheard of. That's unheard of. Now, you can talk about inflation and real inflation and everything like that. When I think of inflation, I think usually like 2 to 3%, 2 to 4% maybe. But that's not what we have here today. And, even worse than that, inflation is oftentimes sort of a misnomer, right? Because when you have, priceflation, price gouging and everything, the price tends to go a lot higher, and not all inflation is equal. And so sometimes we have inflationary effects as a result of things like on things like food, which is a lot higher, as opposed to things like, say, I don't know, like TVs, which is probably went down in value over time, right? Then we also have artificial boosts to that as well, like tariffs and whatnot. And you can never predict this stuff, right? But what it does do is it destroys confidence in the dollar. And when the dollar goes, so does your retirement, so does your ability as a consumer to buy goods and services, which makes your life worse. It makes your life worse. And we just sort of have to sit back and take it, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, you have centralized banks just going absolutely mad with their gold and silver purchases and holdings, and you have foreign countries and entities talking constantly about, oh, maybe we can move on to the gold standard. Maybe they're going to flash some currency, right? Like BRICS, for instance. And I'm not really betting that BRICS is really going to go anywhere. But what I am saying here is that maybe some other monetary or fiat currencies tend to look a little bit more attractive here in the future as opposed to the US dollar. And that's not good for us. It's good for nobody. Well, I guess it's probably good for other countries to have their value go up a little bit, but it's certainly not good for us Americans, right? And that's what we should be looking out for if we're going to be politicians of the United States of fucking America. We probably shouldn't be trying to make billions of dollars, most likely illegally, in the crypto market. Again, allegedly here, obviously, but let's be honest here, the Trump family, I'm not really putting much past them anymore. I mean, this is a guy who's been funding a genocide in Israel for many years. His first term, he came back, started funding that genocide in his second term, supporting genocide in Yemen, fucking over the Kurds. This is a man who is suppressing the Epstein files. I mean, holy shit, the Epstein files. Don't even get me started on that. I mean, they have to be absolutely fucking just gargantuanly bad for the amount of shit that's been coming out. And the attacks on freedom of speech, arresting journalists, arresting protesters, repealing visas from people who are speaking out against the administration. This is a man who is a bloody supervillain, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't think it's going to make this situation any better here for our dollar. And it's certainly going to make gold and silver look a little bit more attractive. So maybe there's still time to get in. But what I will say is I wouldn't be shocked if there's a crash coming here sometime soon, because things don't just peak this high without falling. I mean, this is insane, because gold just doesn't, rise in value, right? Just because the piece of metal doesn't just automatically become twice its value in like 2 years for no reason. It becomes that way because of instability of fiat currencies, which is what we have. So when you think about it this way, it's like, oh yeah, our fiat's probably just worth less. So that's partially where the value goes up a little bit. But also, too, people losing a lot of confidence in us and in our ability as a fiat system. Not good. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy the video here, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content. We're going to be talking about all different types of political videos here coming up. And I wish you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.